After becoming so fat she can no longer fit on Dr. Now's scales due to being fed by her enabler husband and making every excuse under the sun as to why she can't lose weight, Shannon Lowery is one of the most unsuccessful stars to ever feature on the show. With excuse after excuse, Shannon fails at every hurdle to lose even the smallest amount of weight. And starting out at over 600 pounds and 39 years old, her husband Simon is her primary caregiver and is responsible for pretty much everything, including making her massive meals.
I hate my life because I'm not even living anymore. I'm too big to do anything. So my whole world is just my bed right now. I can still get up, but just barely because of how bad it hurts to move all my weight around now. So I stay in this bed all day and it's miserable. The only activity I get is when I have to get up for my husband Simon to clean me, to go to the bathroom, or to eat.
How do you sleep?
Not very good.
Join the club on that one.
All I do is I lay in bed, I sit, and I stare at these walls.
Shannon is completely miserable. She has grown so used to her situation that she doesn't know how to do anything else, simply existing rather than living. What makes it worse is what Shannon prioritizes, as she values silly things over what actually leads to a fulfilling life. Instead of saying things like, I miss being able to walk, or go on holiday, or spend time with me husband, Shannon reminisces about the TV and colouring in. It's strange to think that Shannon doesn't regret more important things like this, instead having a more childlike outlook on life. From another perspective, Shannon could be experiencing a severe depression, claiming that even the simplest things in life don't bring her joy anymore. I think it's obvious that Shannon, or anyone who's 600 pounds, will be experiencing some form of depression because her quality of life is so low, but she clearly also has quite a childlike attitude. Given her size, Shannon is always uncomfortable because of the large amount of fat pulling at her skin. At the start of the episode, Shannon is said to be around 600 pounds, but in reality, I think she's a lot closer to 700 pounds already when compared to other stars of the show.
I don't turn TV on anymore, hardly. I don't color anymore. I don't do anything that I used to do because it doesn't bring me joy anymore.
It's probably been a long time since she was last weighed, and since that point, I think it's obvious that she would have gained a massive amount of weight.
All I do is lay here in pain. There's no ever getting comfortable because the pain never goes away. You know, whether it's my ankles or my knees or my hips, something always constantly hurts. I can't do anything for very long, really. Even just getting cleaned takes everything out of me. So Simon always has to be here with me, and I'm completely reliant on him.
And Shannon isn't just relying on Simon to wash her, but also to cook for her too. Unfortunately, as you'd expect, Simon is a complete enabler, cooking Shannon whatever she wants with no concern for her portion sizes. All Shannon can do is lie in her bed and wait for Simon to come help her, as she's completely immobile. She has a hospital bed that she stays in all day, and a commode at the foot of the bed that she uses, with Simon's help. She does have a motorized wheelchair, but she doesn't use it much as she hardly ever leaves the house. The sheer amount of excess weight that Shannon has is really put into perspective when we get a bird's eye view of her body. It's scary to think that inside of there is a small skeleton being crushed underneath that massive weight. And not to be too harsh, but this really reminds me of that Cassandra from Doctor Who, as her skin is literally being stretched that much. Shannon claims to have lost control of her weight completely, as she always eats whatever she wants with no limits. She doesn't have much contact from the outside world either, so she'll just turn to food as a way to fill the void of her loneliness. This isn't a new situation for Shannon either, as she struggled with her weight ever since she was a child. Like a lot of children, Shannon's parents divorced when she was young, so she was passed around between households for a long time. That feeling of not having a permanent safe space can create a lot of trauma for a child, and it is sad to see how much of an impact this has had on Shannon's life. Shannon's biological mother actually abandoned her in the hospital the day after she was born, which led to her really struggling with the feeling of being unwanted from an early age. None of her family took especially good care of her, apart from her stepmom, a woman who her dad remarried. This lady was really special to Shannon, as she took the most care of her and her siblings, but when she divorced her dad, Shannon was back again to feeling totally isolated.
Food kind of became a comfort for me. You know, I'd go to my dad's work and just eat fast food the whole time. And by the time I was 7, I was over 100 pounds. and the weight gain just continued from there.
Shannon's dad couldn't keep up with looking after her properly, so Shannon eventually moved in with her biological mother, the woman who abandoned her in the hospital, and things started to get pretty bad for her.
On top of constantly wanting to eat to feel better, I started getting desperate for food. Food was really scarce, and it was really stressful when we ran out because I was worried about how we were going to get more, but I was also blamed for it being gone. And it got so bad that my mom and stepdad put a big tow chain around the fridge and padlocked it, but they couldn't stop me. I always found a way. And I got up to around 250 by the time I was 13.
The fact that her mother had to literally padlock the fridge shut shows just how little control Shannon had over her eating. She literally could not stop herself, to the point where she would eat all of the food in the family home. Because she simply needed to eat huge quantities, it didn't even matter what the food was. As long as it was edible, Shannon would eat it. By the time Shannon graduated high school, she was well over 450 pounds. It seems like Shannon was never really looked after either, and she was left to fend for herself most of the time. Instead of learning that food should be consumed healthily, learning to make healthy meals, she learned by herself that food equals comfort, and it was used as an emotional crutch instead of a tool to keep you alive and healthy. With no other option but to lose the weight, Shannon finally decided to reach out to Dr. Now for help. He makes an interesting point about Simon while trying to understand how Shannon got to her current size.
Who else is in the household beside you?
My husband.
So, is he your enabler then?
I wouldn't say that exactly.
Alright, then if you can only walk 10 feet, then who prepare food and how do you get your food?
My husband usually makes dinner. He's the one that usually cooks.
He's the one who gets all the food for you?
Yes, sir.
So let me ask you again. I say you're an enabler?
Yeah.
Alright, so does your husband work?
He works, he's a paid caregiver for me.
So if you are functional, he's gonna lose his job?
I guess, maybe.
Is that gonna be a problem if you lose weight then?
No, sir.
Well, this is a very difficult situation. We find the people that they have a member of family as a caregiver, and this dynamic between them does exist. This dynamic negatively affects your ability to change anything and come out of disability, and you get your life back and the caregiver find another position or job.
Yeah, no, my husband totally is behind me 100%. He's willing to do whatever it takes for me to get healthy.
With Simon being Shannon's full-time caregiver, if she loses the weight, he won't have a job anymore. From what I've seen, he likes Shannon being at that weight. They met when she was a similar size, and he was attracted to her because of this. This trait is honestly so common in the show, with the stars' partners fetishizing them and actively sabotaging their attempt at weight loss. But people like Simon, they actually prefer their partner to be super morbidly obese and immobile, because it means they get to stay at home and provide for them, which they also enjoy doing, and they're just into that. Dr. Now asks Shannon to lose 100 pounds over 2 months, which she should be able to do on a 1200 calorie diet that he gives her. People in my comment section always say that this is way too low of a diet to eat, and I do agree, but these people are literally on the brink of death, so there needs to be a drastic diet for them to change their ways fast. He also needs Shannon to start getting up and moving around, because eventually she'll need to move to Houston for her surgery, so she needs to be at a safer way to travel and be able to walk comfortably. A month later, Shannon should have lost 50 pounds, and it's time for her first appointment with Dr. Now in person. The trip will take 17 hours, so Shannon will have to sit in the car for a long period of time, and it'll probably take about 3 or 4 days to get to Houston with all the stops. But the journey doesn't start well, as Shannon can barely get out of the door.
I have to get up and walk past the entry door because my motorized wheelchair can't fit through. But I know if I don't push myself, I won't get out. The next step is getting into the car. And it's been 10 years since I've been in a vehicle because the doors aren't wide enough. So getting in the back of one that's big enough to fit me is probably my only option.
It's interesting how Shannon says that the car doors aren't big enough, when that's not reality. She's just too big for the car. Instead of admitting that she's the problem, she's blaming the world for being unaccommodating to her, when she's literally close to 700 pounds. But thankfully for Shannon, her dad rented a minivan for the trip instead of a car, so she only has to worry about fitting in the boot, or the trunk I think for the Americans.
Go right down. Okay. There you go. There you go.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this, Dad. Tell him we need all hands on deck. This is already not good. I'm already where I need more help than my dad and Simon can give me. And I'm trying not to get upset or overwhelmed about it. But I'm scared, and I'm starting to freak out. This could all go really bad for me.
It takes about 6 people to practically flop Sharon into the back of the minivan, using a sheet to slide her body along.
Dad? Bessie, keep leaning. I can't lean anymore. Pull!
That's
There
it.
you go. Got her. Going.
Go on.
There you go. I'm trying to help. Get this bag out of my way.
There you go.
Hey.
All right. Good.
Okay. That's as good as we're gonna get.
But after less than an hour on the road, Shannon is in a lot of pain. Simon and her dad aren't sure what's wrong, so they pull off the road to check. She says some of her body fat is sitting uncomfortably beneath her, so they work together to try and make it more comfortable, but it doesn't really go to plan.
There we go.
Is that better?
No. The pillows need to be adjusted and... Yeah, look at how I'm sitting, Simon. This hurts.
Right, pull her forward again. Get her forward again.
Okay. How's that?
Try it now. Otherwise, I don't know what the hell to do.
How you had it, Simon?
That what? I just moved it round so it would be comfortable for you.
No, how you had it when we left. Just do it like that.
Get her forward again.
No,
No,
Simon,
what?
how you had it
Oh,
when we
for God's
left.
sake!
Damn it. How we had it when we left. Just put it back.
You better start acting a little bit normal, Shannon. Stop it.
I'm in so much pain, it's not even funny.
Behind her other shoulder.
No! Put it, Simon. The way you had it when we left was fine. Exactly the same way. I'm not sure how much more of this I can take.
Shannon is acting so demanding and childish here, totally blaming everyone in the car when they're all trying to help her. She can't even make 1 hour, but she has 16 more to go. She makes it another 5 hours before she can't take it anymore, so they stay in a motel for the night. But her appointment with Dr. Now is the next day, so Shannon has to do the rest of the journey in one go to make sure that she doesn't miss it. Obviously, she complains for the rest of the journey, but she decides that she needs to stop immediately when she's just 30 minutes away from Dr. Now. Not sure what to do, her dad calls Dr. Now for some advice, where he's told to bring Shannon straight to see him at the hospital a day earlier than her appointment. Now the thing is, I have no doubt Shannon is in a lot of pain. It does have to be extremely painful and uncomfortable to weigh that much and feel the strain of it on your body pulling at every angle. And with her weight comes a lot of health complications too. And it is very serious travelling this way, as it actually could kill her if she's at a very high risk of a blood clot because of her poor circulation. Shannon finally arrives at the hospital and it takes 8 hospital staff to transport her, and she's sent for tests immediately to rule out any serious complications.
1, 2, 3, we're just gonna push. 1, 2, 3.
We're currently admitting Shannon to the hospital to run some tests on her to make sure she hasn't developed any life-threatening issues that we need to address immediately. But it's clear that Shannon hasn't made any progress since I last talked to her. We got her weight, and she's almost at 740 pounds. So whatever Shannon's weight was a month ago is either the same or higher now. So that's adding even more strain to her system, to where she could have developed any number of life-threatening issues. Especially with how sedentary she is, developing a blood clot in her leg is a serious concern for her, because any significant movement for her could dislodge it to where it gets in the bloodstream and travels to the lungs, causing pulmonary embolism that could very quickly become fatal for her. So I'm very concerned about her right now because her body is either very close to being at its limit or it's already there, in which case her condition is about to get a lot worse very fast.
I think now I've watched so many episodes of My 600 Pound Life, I've become very good at knowing how much the stars actually weigh. And unfortunately, Shannon was far too big still to be 600 pounds. Even Shannon knew it too, even though she should have been losing weight, but didn't want to admit it at the start.
So how you doing, Shannon?
Could be better.
Could be better?
Just hurting a lot.
Well, we give you something for pain, and we need to do some tests, make sure you don't have blood clot in your legs, and we're gonna go ahead and give you some blood thinner. But your weight is right now 739 pounds. So last I talked to you, I gave you the diet and exercises with a goal to lose 100 pounds to come down here. And you said you're going to change something, but you clearly haven't. So what's going on with that?
I don't know.
Well, what's the issue with you? You keep overeating. Is it you that asking for the food or your husband bringing you all the food?
It's both. I majority of the time pester him until I get what I want from him.
Mm-hmm.
And he gives in and gives it to me.
But how are we going to change that dynamic in the household?
I have to change it. And I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. I need to do it.
Well, you said that 2 months ago. And at this point, you don't have time to play games because your body cannot tolerate that weight for too long. And anything happened to you, you're not going to survive.
That's what I'm scared of.
Well, that should lead you to take this seriously, to lose weight now before that happens.
I know.
When her test results come back, Dr. Now chooses to keep Shannon in the hospital as she has a respiratory and cardiovascular issue as a direct result of her weight. He just doesn't feel comfortable with her traveling all the way back home in this condition, so he keeps her in the hospital where she'll be placed on a controlled diet and will hopefully lose some weight. And then Dr. Now explains that when Shannon and Simon do have to go home, Simon will need to stop enabling Shannon to eat more. And actually during this talk, Simon admits to bringing Shannon more food than she asks for. In most cases, the overweight star resorts to things like screaming, tantrums, and manipulation to get their enabler to bring them more food. But for Shannon and Simon, it seems like Simon knows what she will want before she even asks, bringing her whatever food she wants and more.
I got a feeling that he is bringing more food than you asked for. Isn't that right?
It has been known, unfortunately, yeah.
That's what you call being an enabler.
Mhm.
So you need to stop doing that.
Yeah.
Because you bring it to her, she feels obligated to eat it, and then you're harming her and you're helping her kill herself.
Yeah, I know.
And this is not going to be good.
Mhm.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. If you need anything, give me a call.
It's so strange how Simon even laughs after he says it too, like it's some sort of joke. Plus, many other fans of the show also get strange vibes from Simon. Her husband is more than likely a feeder. He watches her take each bite, chew, swallow, and then take another bite. Friggin' creepy. His facial expression is that of watching a striptease. Her husband's a weirdo for sure. In just 2 weeks at the hospital, Shannon loses 70 pounds. Honestly, that's an insane amount of weight loss and shows just how effective the diet is and can be, and how there really are no excuses. If you stick to the calories, you'll lose the weight. End of. Dr. Now gives Shannon a goal of losing 200 pounds over the next 2 months to qualify for weight loss surgery. If she sticks to the diet, she will easily be able to lose the weight, and will know if she doesn't when she comes back to Houston for her next weigh-in. Unfortunately, it's a pretty big gap before her next appointment, as this season My 600 Pound Life took place in 2020, right as COVID hit, so Shannon was unable to travel for her appointment. So, it's been 7 months since her last appointment when we next see her, so it'll be interesting to see what state Shannon is in after all this time.
Shannon's come back down to Houston, but it took her longer than she expected again, which isn't a good sign because it means she was struggling on the road and hasn't improved her health like she thinks. And on top of that, the nurse has seen her in the waiting room and said she doesn't think she can fit on the scale, because she has to use one weight bars to hold herself up. And so she would have to be able to fit between them. But if she's still that big to where she can fit in that space, then she not only hasn't lost the way she thinks, but she probably gained back what she has lost when she was here. So this is all very concerning. Hello, how y'all doing?
Good.
Hello.
Good. Hello,
Hi,
Doctor.
Shannon, you doing okay?
I'm okay.
All right, it looked like it took you a little longer to get down here again.
Yes, it did.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling okay, but you're still putting a lot of strain on your body doing this and at your weight, because it doesn't look like you lost much since you were here. And it looked like instead of losing, you gained your weight, and it looked like you're over 700 pounds again. And so the nurse told me that she doesn't think you're going to fit in the scale. So that's an issue right now. But why haven't you made any progress like you said you did?
I'm trying. I'm doing the diet. At least thought I was doing it right. I've really been trying to follow the diet. COVID's been making it hard and not being able to eat as good as I should be.
Then why did you come back down here and put all that strain in your body again?
Really thought I was doing better, and I had to make the trip. I had to come see you.
Now, honestly, I've got no idea how COVID would have made her following the diet difficult. If anything, it should have helped, as all the fast food drive-thrus she was often having would have been shut. And it's not like she would have left the house much anyway. She's honestly just totally lying to herself, completely convinced that she's been trying hard when she really hasn't. She looks like she's gained even more weight than last time, like she's above 800 pounds at this point surely. In fact, Shannon is now so large, she can't fit on the scales anymore. So Dr. Now doesn't even know what she weighs, but at this point it doesn't really matter. All that matters is that she loses it and fast. But Shannon is still in total denial about her situation.
I'm just a little tired from traveling, but I don't want Dr. Now to see my struggling and think it's just because I haven't gotten better. Because I am doing better. I haven't given up all this time. I really need this. I need help.
She thinks she's doing better in every possible way, but the reality is totally opposite. She weighs more than when she started the episode, and her mobility is even worse now. If she pretends like everything's fine, it means that she doesn't have to try as hard to turn her life around, because in Shannon's mind, she already has. It's just a total cop-out that so many stars use as an excuse to not make any progress at all. Like Jean Covey, who we covered in another video, she was convinced that she weighed 200 pounds more than she did, therefore losing 200 pounds without even trying. This was a total lie, but it was real to Jean. But with years of experience, Dr. Now can see straight through the lies, so he isn't falling for any of it.
All right, Shannon, we're going to run some tests on you before you go. But if you want to do this program, you have to stay on track no matter what's going on, because you're going to run out of time if you stay like this.
I know, but it's been really stressful with everything going on with COVID, and I thought I was doing better.
I understand it's been a difficult time, but this is a matter of life and death, and you don't have time to waste like this.
I know.
Are you even trying? What are some things you changed?
I'm only gonna eat 3 times a day, no more snacking. I'm not gonna bully Simon into getting me things that I don't want, so that I don't need to have, so.
So, Simon, what do you do to help her?
I'll stop feeding her. Well, at least snacking anyway. I think I'll do anything that needs to be done for her. It has to be done this time.
Well, clearly, you're still enabling her, and you're helping to kill her at this point.
I'm gonna stop all that, yeah, for sure.
If Shannon doesn't lose any weight, it's pointless for her to come back and see Dr. Now, so he gives her a final goal to lose 150 pounds over the next 2 months. Otherwise, he'll have to remove her from the program for good. It's really disappointing that during the 7-month filming break, she gained back all of the weight that she lost in hospital, and then more on top. She uses anything as an excuse to not commit to the program. But it's not just Shannon who's lacking, as her husband Simon is enabling her to such an extreme degree that he's even helped her get into a worse situation than when he started. But time isn't on Shannon's side, as every day she chooses to keep gaining, she gets closer and closer to actually losing her life. She already has lots of health complications, and it just takes one of those to take a turn for the worse and actually end up killing her. She's now a year into the program, and Shannon finally feels a rush of motivation and decides to start going to the gym. I think it's great that she's trying, but the gym really isn't the best place for Shannon to start. She can't walk more than a few steps, so in reality she should just be working out from home. Literally walking around her house or just walking up and down the street would be better. Plus, neither of them drive, so she has to use an electric wheelchair to get to the gym, which is pretty unsafe as she's close to the main roads.
A lot of things could go wrong with me being out in public, especially being in my wheelchair. It's a long ride, kind of scary going by myself, but it's going to be worth it. I'm willing to do it and risk all that if it means I'm going to do better and make the progress I need. And I think a gym is going to be something important for me to do my exercises. So I just decided I'm going to try and do this on my own. Hopefully it turns out to be a good idea and not something I can't handle.
Hey, Shannon, how you doing?
Doing okay.
You ready to get to work?
Okay.
Let's go.
The trainer seems really nice and is obviously really good for Shannon, but everything Shannon does could have been done from home, and I do feel like she'll end up using this as an excuse by saying she can't make it to the gym so she can't work out, because if she'd started doing it at home, she'd have no excuse to not exercise.
Let's go. Some of these. Yep, big breaths. Doing all right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, getting nice and warm?
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna try out these 12s.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
oh,
Another shoulder presses.
crap.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. 2. Good.
I don't want to make out like going to the gym is a bad thing. I just mean in Shannon's specific case, it seems like the exercise would be better done at home. It's honestly pretty shocking how little Shannon can move. If she can barely raise her arms above her head more than a few times before giving up, and I would just feel absolutely trapped in Shannon's position. And although Shannon obviously had a great workout in the gym, I bet you can imagine what's motivating her to finish the workout.
Let's go. Give me some height. Give me some height.
If these sessions lead to me being more mobile, then I'm here for it. I'm going to do everything I can.
Of course, Shannon is hungry after barely moving, but at least she's trying. Let's just hope she doesn't use that as an excuse to overeat as soon as she gets home. But a month later, when she's barely lost any weight, Dr. Now is less than impressed. It's obvious that she's made little progress too, as it takes 5 people to help her onto the scale, and she almost doesn't fit on it either.
Look at you now.
Got this.
Absolutely.
Is that light?
That's. We got you, honey. There you go. Move this chair all the way.
As deep as you can get. Now place your hands and we will start to rotate you. Okay?
You're there. You are there.
Reach away.
Oh my gosh.
Come on. We got this.
Okay, you got it.
Can we move this?
Lift that foot.
Okay.
There you go.
It's on.
You're on.
Okay, great.
You
Great.
got it, Shannon. $6.98.
Okay.
Okay, let's get this.
All
Foot's
right.
down.
First one.
Walker's right here.
Just get.
I have your pants to help.
Okay, it's right there.
You're there.
We got you.
All right.
Hey.
Look at you. You
Did
rocked
it.
You rocked
Did it.
that.
Shannon is getting so large that her clothes barely fit her anymore, with the seam of her trousers breaking under the pressure. She's still in total denial, claiming that she tried to do everything she could to lose the weight and doesn't understand why she didn't lose more weight. She must have forgotten when she lost 75 pounds in just 2 weeks when she was in hospital and controlled diet, because if she actually followed the diet plan, she could have lost that much too. As of 2024, Shannon is still a very similar weight as when she started the show, around the 700 pound mark, and honestly, it's quite sad to see that even now she's still struggling with the weight. She does have a YouTube channel of her own where she's been posting her workout videos at the gym, but it's obvious that even though she's working out, her diet is still severely lacking. One thing I thought was interesting is the caption of one of her videos where she says, "My new doctor tested my blood and I'm healthy aside for the weight." She's still clearly looking for excuses as to why she doesn't have to lose the weight, claiming that she's still healthy. We know she's not healthy. She says she's 700 pounds, and fans of the show worry a lot about her too, as every few weeks we learn that someone on the show has died directly because of the weight. Just watch your episode on the Dr. Now documentary with you during COVID-19. Was so disappointed at the end when you didn't receive gastric bypass surgery. Decided to look you up, so glad to see you're still with us. Shannon hasn't posted anything in 2025 or 2026, so I'm not sure what she's been up to recently, but it's still likely that she's still 700 pounds or even heavier. I do think her and Simon are also still together, as she posted a selfie of them together in March 2024. And the road to recovery is a long one, and it's clear that Shannon is still at the start. And honestly, we can only hope that she soon finds it in her to continue with the weight loss program, because it would be absolutely heartbreaking to hear of another 600-pound life star passing. And if you want to see the most recent stars of my 600-pound life who lost their lives, click the video that's on your screen now. Follow my Instagram at BigCraigYT, subscribe so you don't miss a video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.